Imagine getting professional, broadcast quality 4K motion graphics at 60 frames per second.
Okay.
Now, think about that same graphic. It used to cost, what, hundreds of dollars?
Yeah.
Took days of skilled work.
Yeah, easily. Sometimes thousands for complex stuff.
Imagine that same piece, now generated in minutes, for less than $1.
Yeah.
Beat.
Wow. That's not just a small shift. That's like a 99% cost drop. It fundamentally changes the whole game for creating high-end content.
Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're really opening up the blueprint for this huge economic shift. Our mission here is to unpack the whole automated workflow. We're going to look at the specific tech involved, Seedream, Hailuo, and 8N.
Key players.
Exactly. And we'll detail the three-phase system that makes this broadcast quality animation, well, scalable, accessible, and just incredibly cheap for you.
Yeah, and it's worth remembering just how painful the old way was, right? I mean, it was so slow.
Yeah, incredibly slow.
And expensive and kind of restrictive, too.
It really was a major bottleneck if you wanted to scale up any kind of visual content. Traditionally, the barriers were huge. First off, just super time-intensive.
Right.
Complex animations. You're talking hours, maybe days, for a dedicated artist to finish just one.
And that time translates directly to cost. Professional designers, they'd often charge somewhere between $100, maybe $500 per piece. And for really tricky branding projects, yeah, costs could easily hit a couple of $1,000s.
And that cost, plus needing real expertise in software like After Effects.
Yeah.
It just created this, technical wall.
Yeah, a high barrier to entry.
So high volume production, forget it. It was basically impossible because every single little thing needed manual work, individual focus. Scaling was just a pipe dream.
But this AI revolution, or at least this specific automated setup, it just smashes those limits.
Totally.
You go from an idea to a finished, polished animation in, what, minutes?
Minutes. And the cost factor is key here. Professional level motion graphics coming in under $1 per piece.
That's the kicker.
Right. And then you get this incredible scalability. The system lets you process, dozens of animations at the same time.
Simultaneously.
Yeah, simultaneously.
Yeah.
Effortlessly hitting that professional benchmark. Crisp 4K resolution, 60 frames per second.
Okay, but if scaling was so hard before, how does this automated system actually manage processing lots of projects at once? Like technically?
Good question. So the system basically uses automation to process multiple scenes in parallel. It manages them with a queue.
Queue management. Got it. That makes sense. And that processing power really relies on the tech stack, right? It's like you said, a mini film studio.
Exactly. 4 key parts working together. You've got the director and the actors, so to speak.
Okay, let's break down the cast then.
So we start with Seedream 4.0. That's the core image model. It comes from ByteDance. It's really pushing hard to be one of the top generative models out there.
And what makes Seedream special in this context?
Its main thing is extreme consistency. That's absolutely vital for animation.
Right, because the frames need to match up.
Perfectly. If your start and end frames aren't aligned just right, the motion gets all jittery or just fails. Seedream is built to ensure that coherence. It's the linchpin.
Okay, consistency. And I've heard Seedream also handles aspect ratios really well, like for different platforms.
Yeah, that's another advantage. It gives you superior control over aspect ratios. Super important if you're making stuff for vertical TikTok versus, standard horizontal YouTube. It's really good at that image-to-image transformation.
Okay, so Seedream nails consistency. But its competitor, Nano Banana, where does that fit in? What's the trade-off there?
That's a good point. You'd probably lean towards Nano Banana if your graphic has a lot of complex text in it. It often handles that kind of rendering with a bit more accuracy.
Gotcha. So Seedream for visual consistency, maybe Nano Banana for complex text. Okay. So Seedream gives us the static before and after pictures.
Right.
But then the Hailuo video model steps in. That's the actual animator.
Exactly. Its specific task is to create that fluid motion between the two static images Seedream provided.
And it produces these short clips.
Yeah, it generates 6-second clips, which turns out to be a pretty ideal sort of modular length for dynamic motion graphics segments.
Okay.
And importantly, it's fully API ready, so you can plug it straight into the automation workflow, control it perfectly.
Nice. So we have images, we have motion. Then what? Post-production.
Yep, the final polish, that's where Topaz upscaling comes in. It's kind of the wizard that finishes the job.
Right. It takes the, 1080p clips?
Yeah, it intelligently takes those 1080p clips and bumps them up to that really sharp, crystal clear 4K resolution.
And the frame rate, too.
And it handles converting the frame rate to 60 FPS. That gives you that incredibly smooth, almost cinematic motion that you expect from high-end stuff.
Okay, so that's the quality boost. Now, who's conducting this whole orchestra?
That's N8N, the automation platform. You can think of it as the no-code command center.
Ah, the director.
Exactly. It connects all these different services. Google Sheet, Seedream, Hailuo, Topaz using their APIs. It talks to all of them.
And it's built to handle volume.
Yeah, it's built for scale. It manages things like retries if a service has a momentary glitch, keeps the whole workflow running smoothly.
Wow, so you can actually get that cinematic 4K 60 FPS quality without ever needing to open up something like After Effects.
That's the amazing part. No complex design software needed for the generation itself.
Okay, let's dig into the actual workflow then. The blueprint. You said 3 phases.
3 precise phases, like a production line. Phase 1 is all about input preparation. Basically, setting up your creative blueprint.
Right, and this is where Google Sheets comes in, acting as the sort of project manager.
Exactly. Each row in your sheet is a different scene.
Yeah.
And the columns structure your data. You absolutely need your scene descriptions.
Okay.
The URL for your starting image, reference A, the URL for your ending image, reference B, and then the really crucial part, detailed transition prompts.
Ah, the prompts. So those tell the AI how to animate between A and B.
Precisely. That's the creative core, your instructions. And the automation is smart enough to only process rows you've marked with a status like create. Gives you control.
Mm-hmm. You know, I still wrestle with prompt drift myself sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's when the AI kind of forgets the original goal over several steps. Getting those transition prompts just right for complex stuff, like, say, changing a phone's angle but keeping the exact color, that takes real focus. It feels like the last big human touch point in this.
That's a great point. That careful prep work, though, leads straight into phase 2 motion graphics generation.
Okay, the animation engine kicks in.
Right. This is N8N doing its thing, using what are called HTTP request nodes to send all that data from the spreadsheet over to the Hailuo API.
And there's a crucial step here, isn't there? Something about waiting.
Yes, absolutely critical. You need to use the wait node. You have to tell the workflow to pause for a bit, maybe 6 minutes or so.
Why?
To give Hailuo enough time to actually generate the video before the system tries to grab it. You just can't rush the animator.
Makes sense. Let it cook. Okay, so after the wait.
Then comes phase 3, video combination and enhancement, the final polish. First, N8N uses something called an aggregate node. Think of it like a digital stapler to gather up all those individual 6-second clips. Right after that, it makes a merge videos API call to stitch them together into one seamless video.
All right, so all the scenes are combined. Then the upscaling happens.
Then comes the heavy lifting. The Topaz upscaling, enhancing to 4K and 60 pps, that's the longest part of the process. It can take anywhere from, say, 8 to 12 minutes.
And the files get big, I bet.
Oh, yeah. You end up with a pretty substantial file, often around a gigabyte for a decent length piece. High quality takes space.
Sure. And what if something goes wrong during generation? Does the whole thing just crash?
Good question. No, it's built with some smart logic for reliability. If, for example, the video generation fails for some reason, a switch node catches it. Instead of crashing the whole workflow, it redirects things. It logs a detailed error message right back into your Google Sheet on the row that failed, so you can see exactly what went wrong.
That's clever, so it fails gracefully. All right, thinking about that spreadsheet again. If so much is automated, what specific part gives you the most creative control over how the final animation looks and feels?
Definitely the transition prompts you write, combined with the specific image reference URLs you choose. Those define the scope and the style.
Got it. The prompts and the source images. Okay, so we understand the mechanics now. Let's talk applications. Where does this scalable power actually get used?
The applications are pretty immediate and potentially huge for businesses.
Yeah, I can see that. Like dashboard visualizations, animating charts dynamically, showing KPI progress.
Exactly. Instead of static charts, you get smooth transitions. Also huge for brand assets. Think professional logo reveals or animations that demonstrate complex brand guidelines.
Oh yeah, explaining guidelines visually, that's useful.
And maybe the biggest area, marketing materials.
Right.
You can churn out high-volume social media ads, App Store preview videos, stuff that used to require a big, expensive, internal motion graphics team or pricey agencies.
The sheer volume is the game changer there, isn't it?
Totally. And that brings us back to the cost comparison. It's just stark.
Let's lay it out. The old way, you were paying maybe $50 to $200 an hour for an animator, which often meant a final price tag of, what, $500 to $2,000 for one finished piece.
Yeah, easily in that range.
Yeah.
Now, compare that to the AI automation costs. Seedream for the images, less than 2 cents.
2 cents. Okay.
Hailuo for the 6-second video clip, around 48 cents.
Okay, still tiny.
And the final Topaz 4K upscaling, maybe 10 cents.
So you add all that up, the total operational cost for one professional motion graphic, it drops below $1.
Drops dramatically, under $1. The only real cost left is the time waiting for the AI to process, which you aren't actively working on anyway.
Wow. So the ROI, the return on investment, if you're still charging competitive rates, say $100, $500.
The margins are insane. Over 99% profit margin potential for a product that costs you pennies, literally, to produce automatically.
Okay, the money side is incredibly compelling. But why is right now the critical moment to jump on this and start building this kind of system?
Yeah, that's key. It really comes down to first mover advantage. Getting in early lets you lock down clients before the market gets saturated with this capability.
Get established before everyone else catches up. Makes sense.
So that really pulls it all together, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The core insight here is that AI automation has just completely torn down the old barriers.
Yeah, the specialized skills, the time commitment, the high costs that used to define professional motion graphics, gone.
Well, not entirely gone, but transformed. The creative role shifts, right? It moves away from manual execution towards meticulous prompt crafting and system management.
Right. And the tech stack is clearly mature enough now. The demand for this kind of content is massive and growing, and the economics are just revolutionary. The technology is here, it works, and it's already making money for the people who are building these systems out.
Which leads to the final kind of provocative thought. The choice seems pretty simple, really. Are you going to be the one automating this new world of content creation? Or are you going to be automated out of it?
That's a powerful question to end on. Thanks for digging into this with me today. It's fascinating stuff.
Absolutely. Thanks to you, and thank you for joining us on this deep dive.
Yeah, definitely.
We'll catch you on the next one.